Okay, so I just finally found parking. I am going for a walk outside in the sun because my coach thinks that the Stairmaster is just draining my energy, which I agree. Like, if I don't need to use the stairs, I'm not going to be upset about that. But I forgot that in the first show that I did leading up to it, I was taking everything in and I was going on walks and I was walking outside and just I saw more hamstring tie-ins and glute tie-ins. I saw everything. And so I think I lost sight of that when I was just I'm just doing the stairs for a lot of minutes every day. So I'm gonna try this out and see. I feel like this could be, the click, because I do have about 4 weeks left and I paid for the airline, I paid for the Airbnb, so it's actually happening, but I'm just excited. So yeah, let's see. Oh, baby. Aww. Woody. Look at him.
Sit. Good boy.
We'll do the shake.
Shake. Good boy.
Oh, baby. So I am about 4 weeks and 2 days out from my next show, which is going for my pro card. And it's the, biggest show that I will ever do. It's the 6th show. And a lot is riding on this, but staying present is the key and the only goal that I want to have, where I just breathe in, breathe out, and just take everything in. During this time, though, I can reflect on how I've been in the past when it comes to overeating, because I was 190 about 2 years ago, and now I'm 130 or so. But losing 60 pounds is not something so attainable for everybody. And I can't just tell you, stop eating. Some people think it's that easy, and I personally know it's not that easy. But I found a few tips and tricks here and there that kind of help me to stay focused on the goal. One of them was walking a lot after I eat or before I eat, just to feel a little bit leaner, but also get into that, creative flow where I can think clearly. Because after a nice walk, especially in the sun, I feel okay, wow, I'm not really hungry. It does curb appetite too, so I'm not a scientist or a nutritionist, so I'm not going to say my points on that. But walking is one big thing. But one big thing that I use periodically is drinking a lot of water at one moment, because I ask myself sometimes, am I hungry or am I just bored? And sometimes when it comes to my childhood, if I was ever watching TV, I would want to eat, or maybe we would always eat in front of the TV. So now I correlate, if I'm watching something, I have to be eating. But with prep, you can't really snack. You can't just snack all day. And that's one big thing that made me turn into a big thing. So that was, a big tip for me to remember, is if I'm feeling like sad or insecure or just like, oh, I want to eat, I would have to ask myself, am I hungry or am I bored? And you normally will find that out if you drink like a ton of water, just jug it. That's another thing too. I recommend using a straw so you can get the water in a lot sooner than just doing like, you know, the whole manual thing. Because a lot of things are hard when you're big. They really are. I know that because I woke up one day and I was walking, and my leg got numb, and this was when I was 190, and that's when it all hit me. Like, I'm pretty big, but also getting my body fat percentage, like testing thing, and seeing that I was 33% body fat, it did a lot for me. It made me realize this is not who I want to be. This is not who I envision. And I know I owe it to myself to be a lot better than who I am at that point in time. And so after countless weeks and months of training daily in and out, meal prepping is something that saved my life. It takes literally it started off taking 3 to 4 hours. And if you get into that mindset of like timing everything gets a little bit easier. I'm just gonna go off on a tangent, I guess, but I would time how long it took to make this, how long it took to make that. And now I've gotten it to where I have my meal prep done in an hour and a half. And that's only because I don't need to eat as much, but the foods that I do eat are filling enough for me to last 4 hours. And so I find myself wanting to snack less. Sometimes I even chew gum if I'm like feeling really, really hungry. And just the act of chewing, it tricks my body to like tell that it's eating something. But one risk is like having that bloating feeling. Again, it's small things, but that was another trick that I found useful. Let's see. Ooh, I try to take a deep breath in and out, because sometimes if you're like going all into your emotions and spiraling, you never like can get a grip. So for me, I just go, I touch my heart to make sure it's still beating, and I'm like, and that normally resets my mind to think, okay, Allison, stop thinking about that food. Because I love food. Like, I'll tell you what, I love food. And a lot of people love food too. Like, it is what it is, right? But we are not living to eat. We eat to live. And that's another thing I remember every single day. I tell myself, I'm eating to live. I don't live to eat. And so you tell your body that, you tell your mind that day after day, you're going to find that shift in your paradigm where you can actually like get a grip on your fitness. If it's not, like for me, I track my food, but I also stop tracking it because I can just tell what is what. Like if I'm eating a protein bar, that's 200 calories, I'm going to, subtract that from what I have in my daily intake normally. Especially if I don't have my meal prep around, I'm going to be smart about the choices I have. Like, is it smart to have this little bag of almonds, or could you just get a 4-ounce chicken breast or buy it at Publix or something? It's really just the snacks and all these snacks that are around. Because when I go to Walmart or I go to Target or Publix, I see a lot of people just grabbing snacks, and they go to the grocery store hungry, which do not recommend. Do not recommend at all. Drink a protein shake while you're walking around there, because your mind will tell you, like, get Nutella, get those Oreos, get those Nutri-Grain bars. Like, you'll try to get something healthy, but it's not. And these aren't filling foods. Like for me, as a big girl, I still have that big girl mentality. So of course, my mind's always going to go to what's easier. Like, of course it's easier to eat the Oreos, and that sweet tooth is like, oof, you crave it. But it takes a lot of time to understand your body. And even in meditation, I try to stay present and remember these key things so that the next day I can implement them. Because one thing about competitors and bodybuilders, I don't know if everyone is the same like me, but we are not perfectionists. We want to be, we strive to be. We strive to be a creation of art and beauty, style, flair, presence, grace, all of that. And sometimes we have those vices. Sometimes we have those days where we falter. And man, do I have those days. Like, I can remember one day, this was last year, after my second show, I was able to have my first cheat meal, and it was like sushi, and I got so many rolls, and I had a dessert, and that dessert messed me up. And I specifically remember that because from then on, it was me thinking about like, oh my gosh, what if I just have one cookie? What if I just get like some ice cream? Because like I've been training and I deserve it. And yeah, you can do that, and don't be so hard on yourself. But for me, I have different goals. So it's kind of like, are you willing to risk that just for that small instant gratification? And I think if I also remember, are you going to be okay stepping on stage knowing that other girls were able to stick to the diet, stick to the plan, and you weren't? Are you going to be able to walk off of stage? Especially at this 6th show. I've gone from the first show to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I've never won a show. And for me, it's like, okay, fair enough, right? I was training for wellness for like 40 weeks. I didn't even know I was doing bikini until 3 days out from my first show. And I learned the posing the day before I had to step on stage for bikini. And luckily I placed 2nd, got my qualification nationally. And that was beautiful. Going against over 30 girls and just to be there, that was an amazing feat. And then doing it again the next week, that was amazing. But I digress. Telling yourself that you owe it to yourself to be better than who you were the day before is something I always have to remember. And it's not about worrying about the future, like, oh my gosh, I want to eat this food, and like, will I be able to eat it in the future? And you start thinking like, I know I won't, like, I know I can't do this for so long. Don't worry about that at all, because tomorrow's never promised. The day behind you or yesterday was already gone. So you think about the past, you get that depression, you think about the future, you get anxiety. And I have to tell myself this. I'm telling you guys because right now I took my pre-workout and I feel great. So don't think I'm just walking around like I've got it. No, some days I do falter, but it's how I accept that. Because you take accountability, you don't blame it on anyone else. Me and my boyfriend Ben, we make sure, like, he knows I never blame him if I want to eat this or whatever. He knows I'm smart about what I'm doing, because training and being in prep for over 70 weeks at this point and not really taking an off season, he knows that I know how far I can push it. And some days, like, not some days, because right now we're at the part where we're not, like, we can't do anything. But when I was like 10 weeks out, and that's when I met him, it was easy to falter and like, hey, let's go out here. And I wouldn't go and get like a whole bunch of things, but I would find myself slowly getting away from the plan, the meal plan. And I wouldn't look at him and be like, why didn't you tell me to do this? I would ask him like, hey, I need more accountability. I know that I tell you it's okay. It's not your fault, it's on me. But as a partner, I really want you to help me so that I can get that pro card and we can, continue to level up, right? So that is something that I feel is beautiful in our relationship, but also it's going to help if you have that accountability. I don't have many friends anymore. I have a lot of friends, but they're not talking to me daily because they know I can't go out to this place. I can't do that. I'm working. I'm working out. If you want to see me, you can go to the gym, but do not dare try to work out with me, because if you're going to complain about the workouts, there's no point in it. I've got goals to reach, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I hope this helps as far as a few tips and tricks for any of the girls that have that struggle. I am a rare breed in terms of the division that I chose, which is bikini, because I didn't think I could do it. I thought I was always built for bigger, like figure. Even people that see me, they see that they think I'm jacked, and I'm really not. But their mind is predispositioned to go to like, oh, black girl figure, but it's not the case. And so other normal, I call it like civilians, if they see me, they're gonna get in my head a little bit about like the look that I have. But I know that I am capable of bikini. I know that I have that ability. I know I have the genetics and I have the potential. That's one thing I know. Now, getting that, to translate on stage on show day, that has been my biggest struggle, because every day I'm walking around staying somewhat lean, but it's always been the same feedback. You have to be leaner. You have to be leaner. So I am actually taking that into full consideration and getting as lean as can be, because I want to leave all the cards on the table and just say, like, I did everything that I could do and not look back and regret anything. And even with shows, I don't regret it. A lot of things, I'm just like, okay, that was a hit and miss, but this one, it's a lot of money, a lot of time invested, and it's my last opportunity that I'm willing to give myself before I take a few months to just kind of go back to the drawing board. Now, this isn't gonna kill me, right? I'm not going to let it kill me. I'm going to remember that I have 32 days to impress myself, not the judges, impress myself. So that when I wake up every morning, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, I want to make sure that myself is judged before others can judge me, that I can look at myself and analyze it and be sure, because I am a perfectionist, so, fair enough. But yeah, if you are someone who cares about, validation of others or anything like that, look into the mirror and give yourself honest things about yourself. Like, if you're someone that's a hard worker, you're a hard worker. But if you're someone that knows you can be better, like, you're not comparing yourself to me. If you're white or black, I'm not gonna be the same black as you. There's different colors on the scale. I'm dark, and I accept that. But I'm also someone that accepts where I'm at in life. I'm 28. I have made mistakes in the past. I have been a character that I would not ever envision myself being. I have been a weight that I have never thought I could be. And now, going back into the leaning out process, the losing over 60 pounds in less than 2 years, that's something that I can hold dear to my heart, because it is a hard thing to do, and to do it naturally. Mind you, I did it naturally. Was I starving? I was starving, but I didn't tell myself I was starving. I told myself, I can do this. I'm able to do this, so I can do this. I have 2 legs, two arms, 2 hands. I have a heart that beats strong, so I can do this. And that is something that I hold near and dear to me, because it's not something that everyone can say. So give yourself something so that you can tell yourself whenever you feel low. Give yourself that praise, that support, that validation, that love, because I was able to give myself so much love and validation for myself that I was able to find that in a partner. And that's something that is beautiful, because he praises me and supports me so much. And take it and I love it and I appreciate it and I'm grateful for it. I tell him I'm grateful for you every day. But I have to be sure of myself, because if I were to, let's say, lose him, I have to know at the end of the day that I praise myself, that I support myself, that I love myself before anybody can do that. Because people can come in your life and they can go. This one, he's not leaving, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not. But as long as I stay true to myself and impress myself, then I don't need to impress others. I don't need others to impress me. If I impress myself, people walk in front of me and they try to show off or whatever, I'm not going to judge you. Especially if I'm someone that's getting judged at every show, at every social media post. I'm the last person to judge. So, yeah, I don't know even what I said, but I hope this helps motivate somebody or inspire somebody today, because it definitely riled me up to do shoulders. We have shoulders today, and I can't wait. I'm going to be very scientific, I guess, with how I go about these next 4 weeks, because it's for all the cards. It's for the pro card. So let's get after it. Peace. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you have any topics that you want me to talk about. This one just came right off the dome. I was just like, wow, maybe someone can benefit from this. So I hope maybe that's you. And if not, it is what it is. I tried. But yeah, thanks guys. Bye. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe so you can stay tuned for more updates.